Year 7, mathematicians love doing things in a shorter format. So one of the things we love to do is find a way to shorten long questions into a much shorter format and know what it means. And so today we're using what's called powers or index notation to shorten repeated multiplication. I'm hoping you already know that when you have 4 times 4, that's the same as 4 squared, or 4, and this might be new, to the power of 2. When you have 4 times 4 times 4, that would be 4 cubed, or 4 to the power of 3. You keep going in the same way. 4 to the power of 4 is 4 with the little 4 next to it. It does not mean 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, which I see some people doing. It means multiplied together. So mathematicians, as I say, love to do it shorter. It saves them time. The important piece of information is, what does it mean? 4 is the base, right? That's the number down the bottom. And the 6, for example, in 4 to the power of 6, is the power or the index. So 4 to the power of 6 means the base is 4 and 6 is the power. It would mean 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4, which is there's going to be 6 4s there in total. So for example, here's our first 2 examples. It actually makes it much easier. If I've got 6 times 6 times 6 times 6 times 6, all I need to do is count up the number of 6s and write it like this. So I've got 6 to the power of 5. That's much shorter, isn't it? In the same way, in this second question, what you actually see is there's 2 different numbers, but they're both repeated. So I've got 3 7s, which actually means I've got 7 to the power of 3. And for the minus 2, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means, and notice the way I do this, I leave it inside the brackets, negative 2 to the power of 4. These examples are pretty straightforward. I want to move on to 2 more examples very quickly. So here's the second 2, where it asks you to evaluate. That means find the answer for these questions. If I look at the first one, 11 squared, I'm working in reverse now. I should know that that is 11 times 11. And the way I used to remember that is there used to be this car called a Mazda 121, 121. All right? Hopefully that's straightforward. The second question is negative 3 to the power of 4. So what if I was to expand it out, I'm doing negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3. Now, hopefully you know negative 3 times negative 3. Well, actually, hopefully you know 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 is, 3 times 3 is 12, times another, 9, sorry, times another 3 is 27, times another 3 is 81. However, we've got lots of negatives, haven't we? So we know the final answer is going to be 81, but is it going to be positive or negative?
Negative. Positive.
What you now have, a negative times a negative gives us a positive. But then I've got, you could say a positive times a negative, so that would give a negative, but then I've got negative times a negative, which gives me a positive. So the actual answer is positive 81. All right? You need to get this down, and then we're going to do some classwork.